back. We're Bourbon Kingdom, and today we're talking about our regular, everyday drinkers, or daily drinkers, that we personally enjoy, that is not only semi-easy for us to find, at least for our area, caveat, where we live, Kentucky, or right on the border of Kentucky. And yeah, so whenever people start getting upset at us for saying that you can't find this or that, just remember this is for us here.
Yeah, and even some of these daily drinkers are, I mean, some of them can be a little difficult for us to find.
That's very true. Yeah.
Or at least if we don't want to pay secondary market on them.
Yes.
So
one of them. But yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, Dave, you want to start?
Well, so for me, one of my go-tos is the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. If you've had toasted in any other format, even away from Elijah Craig, they all generally taste the kind of with the same hints and all that stuff. But hands down, Elijah Craig to me is the best toasted barrel that we get to drink on a daily basis.
Yeah, for us, so us here in this part of the country, I guess I really should describe where we're kind of at. We're both around the Louisville area.
Yeah.
He's south of it. I'm a little north of it. We're fortunate enough we can find this as long as we're willing to either drive to the Evan Williams Experience, which they have it from time to time, or Heaven Hill Distillery, which they pretty much have it daily. And I think you can get one once a month. I think that's the new allocated rule, or maybe it's once every couple months. They've changed it a little bit here and there. Yeah. So yeah, we have the ability to find that, and plus they just put them out occasionally at Liquor Barns or Kroger's or Meijer, or wherever they're going to have them at. And if you're lucky enough to snag one while you're out, then you're lucky enough, because they fly off the shelves here just like how they fly off the shelves everywhere. But yeah, no, this is also something I keep as a daily drinker as well. This is a great expression. I mean, it's very campfire s'more, just sweet. Yeah. It's just really good. And for me, I there's a couple distilleries in my book that have a funk to them. It's not necessarily that's a bad thing. It's just that's a very unique flavor to them.
Yeah.
And Heaven Hill is one of them. There's some things from Heaven Hill I don't like, but the Elijah Craig kind of set, the whole. I won't say the whole series, but most of them I really do like. So they're really good.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. So daily drinker.
One of my first lineup in the daily drinker is Russell's Reserve store picks. So one of my top 3 distilleries is definitely Wild Turkey. I think for everyday drinkers, this is just phenomenal. And where you really get your money's worth in this is finding really good liquor stores or club picks of this.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You can just, there's so much value in a great store pick. Now, just because it's a store pick from somewhere doesn't mean it's good, but that doesn't necessarily just, it's automatically better. Yeah. No, it doesn't. But you find a trusted place. This came from Justin's House of Bourbon. They are, to me, they do great store picks. Yeah. They really do have just really a team there that really goes through and selects everything. So it was the one out of Louisville. So yeah, it's just, again, Wild Turkey. It's so good.
And as a daily drinker and a store pick, like, you're not going to pay that much more for a store pick of Russell Reserve than what you pay for just a regular Russell Reserve. So you might as well pay the extra 10 to 15, sometimes $20 to get a store pick as opposed to just the regular, because the palate is just usually enough difference to where it helps you enjoy what Russell Reserve is, just with a little flair to it. So it is a good daily drinker for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, you can find it everywhere. You can find, not even if they're just store picks, you can find them at Kroger, at least for us locally, at Kroger, Meijer.
Cox's,
any kind of liquor store really in this area you can find them at. So it's never without.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. My second daily drinker is actually from Elijah Craig again, but it is the barrel proof. This one happens to be the C920. You have different variants of it. You have the A121, the B. I got the C because it was available at the time. Like, and so I'm not too picky because I enjoy all three of them. So I'm not too picky on which one I get. This one I really like. It just has a different flavor than the other two. The seems to be usually it bring a little more heat to it, and lots of people like the heat of that. For me, there's not enough difference in all of them for me to not enjoy any of the three. So like I will pick whichever one is available at the time. And I happened to walk into a Kroger one day, and this one was available, so picked it up.
Yeah, and to talk about with the barrel proofs and stuff, I mean, they're just so good. I mean, everybody on anybody who's producing any kind of whiskey content, bourbon content right now, I mean, everybody's talking about how good they are because they are just so good, and they really do produce a lot of them, not only for our area but other areas as well. That there is some availability. Yes, it's patchy here and there. You might only be able to get 1 or 2 bottles. For us, again, we can go down to the Evan Williams Experience. They have these down there all the time, the different batches. Same with Heaven Hill, and we can get them like monthly. So we're fortunate enough in this area where we can kind of collect them. Now, I will say the Kroger. Do you remember how much you paid for it at Kroger? It was like $50-$60.
Yeah, it was like 56. I think.
Yeah,
actually.
I think it was. I think that's whenever I got mine at Kroger as well. It's like 56, but at the distillery it's like 80. So just keep that in mind that at the distillery you're going to pay a little bit more. But again, you can get it. It's so good. They really are really good. I'm a big C and A fan. B is my least favorite of the three, but even then, B's are really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So I'm going to keep it on the Wild Turkey train over here. Let's talk about Rare Breed, arguably one of the best values in all of bourbon. Any bottle that is that good within the $40 range is just, you're stealing. Like, just flat out stealing. It is, I mean, honestly, I can't tell you how many blinds I've had that up against stuff, and it just wins all the time. Like, it's so good. And you can find it literally everywhere. I've been in Florida before where you can't find nothing, and Rare Breed's sitting there on the shelf at every single spot I go to, or wherever I'm at on vacation. And it's just such a staple. And if you haven't had a chance to try it yet, first off, shame on you. Unless you're new, then welcome to the club. But then once you have Turkey, 101, then upgrade to the Rare Breed. So, because it is, I'm telling you, it is so phenomenal. It is everywhere, and so reasonably. I mean, the price on it. I'm surprised that they haven't raised the price of it up, because it seems like everything else is going up in price, at least in our area. In the day that goes up in price, I'll still buy it. Like, I'll always have a bottle of this on my shelf. But it's so good.
Well, disclaimer. I'm one of those people that have never had Rare Breed.
He literally told me this as we're doing it, and I'm like,
"It's okay. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten it yet."
And I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" But
you know what?
He's also very new to this as well. Shame on him. So
you know what I'm gonna do? I mean, when in Rome, right?
Yeah, when in Rome.
It's got a little bit of something else mixed in it, but it'll give me at least an idea of what it's gonna taste like.
Yeah. No
so,
doubt.
But apparently this is a really good drinker. So here we go. And he's correct. That is really good.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Everybody, I'm telling you right now, everybody should have a bottle of this at home.
Yeah.
If there is one bottle, I'm looking at all of them right now. There's maybe 2 bottles. I would say everybody should have one of these at home. This is definitely one of them for the cost. So
yeah, for the cost, you're right.
For the cost of it, it's a Wild Turkey product. It's so good. So
my bad. Anyway, so my third daily drinker and is Yellowstone, and this is a store pick as well. Like I said, it's just a good beginner bourbon. Matter of fact, this is my second bottle, and the first bottle was just the regular old Yellowstone Select. This one happened to be this is a Liquor Barn. I got it from Liquor Barn, I believe. It's called Lady Char Select. Really good. Just tastes enough different than the regular Yellowstone that it makes it a little bit better, a little bit smoother than what the regular Yellowstone is at times. And so, just a really good drink.
Yeah, and it goes back to, I know what I've said about Russells and stuff like that, just the value you get in the store pick from these.
So, so the regular Yellowstone is like $39 around here. This one was like $46, and it's a store pick. And so for the extra $6
All day
to get someone's unique palate for the Yellowstone, I just think it was worth the $6 or $7 that it cost me extra to do that. So
yeah, no doubt. Like it's again, it's just great value. It's a great everyday sipper. Especially whenever you have friends over and they're wanting to try something that's not going to blow them away or anything like that. It's something easy. And for us around here, we can find it.
Yeah.
Like it's another thing for us. I can't speak for everybody else around the country, but for us, the store picks of this, I don't want to say they're plentiful everywhere at the liquor stores I like to go to to get store picks from, but definitely we can find them.
Yeah. And this is to me, this is enough different too. Like you don't go into everybody's bourbon selection and see Yellowstone in it because that's just not. It's not what everybody gets, and so it's good to have it on there and be able to offer it to my friends when they come over and just be like, "Hey, man, Yellowstone, you ever heard of it?" Because I'm a Yellowstone guy. I like Yellowstone. It is a go-to bourbon for me on all levels.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's I would argue the other staple that everybody should have, which is going to be Old Forester 1920. This is just a crazy, stupid bottle on how delicious it is. It is something that whenever they came out with this, I think this is like a game changer for just everyday drinking kind of bourbon. Like it's just, in so many ways, it's perfect. It's like that perfect proof. It's just that perfect kind of finish to it. You'll notice here on all of mine, I kind of keep my proof around 110 to about 116, 17. It just kind of varies. I think that's kind of my range, and that doesn't mean like, oh, I like everything hot. No, because I really like Yellowstone. Yellowstone's a 93 proofer. Like it's just that's kind of where
this is about as hot as I get, and this is a 132. So I mean, this is the barrel proof. You get the heat in that. Yeah,
and so
I think you get the best of both worlds in that 110 to 120 range. Yeah.
And something that's not going to blow you away. Yeah. And because years and years ago, whenever they had that George T. Stagg, that was hazmat. That was like stupid high proof. And I'm like, it wasn't enjoyable. Like I love George T. Stagg. Yeah. It's phenomenal, but. I don't want something that's going to literally melt my palate. Yeah. So, but anyways, no, Old Forester, they're one of my favorite brands out there. This is one of my favorite expressions of any bourbon that's out there.
And the beauty is, you can find this anywhere. Yeah. Not even at liquor stores. You can go to Target, and they have 1920.
Yeah.
You can go to Walmart, the Walmarts that have liquor parts of it, and they're going to have 1920. You can literally go almost anywhere, and you could stumble upon 1920 at any given time, and so it's just readily available. And for the price point, it's and for
it's like a $52 to $56 bourbon around here for us.
But it's good. Like it's
better than good. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
It's great.
You put it up against a lot of these things, and this is going to win a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. It normally, again, whenever you can find a $50 bourbon that's on every shelf, and it doesn't necessarily win blinds against some of these higher allocated bourbons, but it can compete in there. Like it's not going to win the game, but it can at least be in the game for a quarter or two or something like that. Like that's such great value that you don't have to go out and drive all around the state of Kentucky looking for. No. You don't have to wait in line for 6 hours. No. Like you don't have to do anything.
Wait in line 6 hours. It's rough sometimes.
It's been there though. We've been there. So,
all right, my fourth, and this is my last daily drinker that we're talking about. He's got some other ones to come. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know much about this bourbon, and I kind of like it that way. I don't know why. I just do. I found this at a place down in Bardstown, and I'm sure they have it around in other places. As a matter of fact, I've seen it like at Total Wine and stuff, but just not the cask strength of this. But it's called Broken Barrel. It's 116 proof. I'd love to tell you lots of great things about it. I don't know the details of it. All I know is that when I'm looking for a bourbon to drink, these are the four at my house when I get on my bourbon cart and I'm looking and I go, what do I want to drink today? I'll pass up my Weller. I'll pass up Woodford. I'll pass up a lot of different things, and I found myself gravitating towards this. It's a small batch, cask strength. It's smooth. It is sweet. It's just really, really good, and it kind of stays with you a little bit too, which is what I really like. I like for a bourbon to kind of like let me know that it's a bourbon, and let me keep knowing that it's a bourbon. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of stays with you for a little bit. It's also phenomenal.
It's also a great looking bottle.
Yeah, it is a great looking bottle.
It's really neat. I love the little neck tag for it. I love the cork for it. The copper and the black finish to it. It's very bold. I imagine it looks great on your little whiskey cart you got over there in the corner.
It does. So. And to be honest with you, it's the only reason I bought it. I was in this
dumb luck sometimes.
Hey, I was in a little bourbon boutique kind of place in Bardstown, and stumbled across it. And I was like, man, that is a cool looking bottle. I mean, cask strength. I like cask strength. Let's try it and see what it is. And it happened to be a really, really good bourbon that I like to drink on quite a bit. So
you will be surprised how lucky this dude is. Hopefully we find that out whenever he starts winning some lotteries here and there with bourbon, because that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, so my last normal daily drinker. This is a brand new one to me this past year, and this will be Wilderness Trail Single Barrel. And I have these two picks here to kind of talk about really quick. Both of them are Wilderness Trail. This one here is probably for 2020. This is like top 5, top 10 at least bottles I got all year. This was a pick from the Silver Dollar in Louisville, and it is so great. It is phenomenal. It's worth every dollar, and it's hard to describe because I went through a phase where I'm like, there's a single barrel store pick of Wilderness Trail. I'm gonna get it, and I've tried figuring out. The only thing I can figure out is they're all not built the same. I will say this: they're all not equal. But I have got these two. This is a KBC pick from Red Castle, local group pick who went through a liquor store, Red Castle. Another great bottle, and literally I've kind of figured out like a 5 year and 5.5 year mark on it is really good. The proof around 116, 117, and it's really dark fruits. This one over here is only a dark fruit, but it has some coconut finish on the end, and it's so good. It's so good. Literally the next day, after I cracked it open, I drove down like 30 minutes past Lexington to go pick up another bottle. This is my second bottle, and I'm nursing it, and I want to drink it every day because it's so incredible.
Full disclosure, that's what we were drinking before I poured the rare breed in here and finished off a little drink of Wilderness Trail there.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I've not really had a whole lot of Wilderness Trail until last year, and that distillery is just booming. They're just producing a ton of stuff. Yeah. A lot of their stuff's starting to get up on age now. They have a 6-year bottle in bond. I have the bottle, I just haven't opened it yet. But yeah, I'm just really excited for it. So I would really recommend, obviously, any of these bottles up here that we've talked about with store picks or anything else like that. A lot of these store picks you can find if they have a tasting bar, go try it. Yeah. It might not be your thing. Like, Wild Turkey might not be your thing, or Old Forester might not be your thing, Yellowstone might not be your thing. But if you can try it and you can get the value out of it, that's great. Yeah. This just delicious.
Really good.
Yeah. So now I have one honorable mention. This is what I do. This is me. This is me personally.
Just didn't want it to break.
Just didn't want it to break. This is me, and this is probably going to upset people, and that's totally fine because I don't care. But I always keep multiple of these around right here. I want to talk about values in bourbon for a $56 bottle. It's laughable because, let's face it, you can't find it for $56 unless you're lucky enough you can find it a couple times a year. The last release we had in this area, in the Louisville area, was the week of Christmas. And I literally drove around every day after work and before work looking for these bottles, spending hours looking for them. And I walked away with like 4 bottles, 5 bottles. And every single bottle, I will, at some point in time in my life, drink it. I'm not giving them up. I'm not giving them away.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to resell them on secondary. These are, I mean, I've had George C. Stagg in my life, and I've had, obviously, a bunch of Stagg Jr. And there's a lot of times where Stagg Jr. can beat a Stagg. Like, that's crazy to me that that bottle can beat a B-Tac, but it's so good. And I understand it's incredibly hard to get. I understand that there's a ton of areas out there in the country that don't even get that bottle. But if you have the means, and even on the secondary price, let me say this, talk about secondary really quick. I understand secondary is not for everybody, but for $150, if you can go find this bottle, because that's what it is, at least in the Louisville area, that it goes for, that's still a great price for that bottle, at least to have it one time, at least to have one release of it. And this past release, it's really, really good. I know.
And just to have it sitting on your bourbon shelf too. It's a nice looking bottle to have sitting on your your bourbon shelf for sure.
And it's just so good. I mean, it's, you know, I'm honestly not even like the biggest Buffalo Trace fan in the world. Like, I like a lot of their stuff, but I'm not like clamoring over Buffalo Trace. But yeah, it's Stagg Junior's one of my favorite bottles. It's always going to be one of my favorite expressions year in, year out.
Yep.
So yeah, I always keep a bunch around, and you know, if I have the opportunity to trade for one, as long as it's somewhat fair value, I typically trade for it. 'Cause I know at some point in time I'm going to drink it. So
sweet.
Yeah. But anyways,
so our daily drinkers.
Yeah.
Let us know what your daily drinkers are. That'd be awesome. We have a Facebook page. Look up Bourbon Kingdom. Yeah. It's just a way for us to kind of communicate and find out what else people like to drink, and maybe if you have something, maybe we'll end up sampling it or something and trying to do a review of it of some sort. But we'll probably change these as we go throughout our time doing Bourbon Kingdom, and our daily drinkers will change. But this just happens to be, as we're starting out our Bourbon Kingdom YouTube channel here. Mm-hmm. This is kind of what we go to as our go-to drinker. So all in all, enjoy your bourbon, drink it the way you want to drink it, neat, on the rocks, cocktail, however you want to do it. But most of all, just keep drinking bourbon because it's the good stuff. And until next time, we'll see you later.
See you guys.